Hello YouTube, it's Dean the Vaping Biker back once again with another Sunday vlog. Straight off the bat and really. I think I got a little bit better at one stage and then I just went really shit again. Now then, there's not been a whole hell of a lot going on this week, but there's a few bits and bobs to have a little chat about, and I can read out a couple of emails and comments and all that sort of good stuff, let you know what I'm vaping, what's coming up and all that good shit. So okay, so first things first, let's have a little go and see what we're vaping on, or what I am vaping on currently. I am still going. Did I have this on the last one? Did I have this on the last vlog? I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. But I am loving this little bad boy box here. The E Square Mini, which is going really well. I have got the, what is it on top of there? The avocado. I did have one problem with the shorting again, but generally not so much. So that's been pretty good. One of the things with the skins on here, with the veneers, because the sticky pad that you get with it isn't quite the same size as the veneer, I've got a kind of a little bit of a lifting up in the corners, which is a bit frustrating. And I did break a bit of the corner of the abalone, which kind of managed to stick back on again. But yeah, so that was a bit frustrating. But as a mod, I'm really quite enjoying it. It's a DNA 200, so it does exactly what it should do, and it's just I think it's a pretty sort of decent size. It's my kind of size in as much as chunky, but it's not big. Does that make sense? And yeah, 40 watts on the old avocado. Happy days, happy days. Really didn't turn my phone off again. Let me have another go at doing that. That's going to be going off forever. Hold you on a second. Right, that's off. So, what else? Now, I've been struggling, as you know, and I just need to check who I have been watching to get this right. Now then, as you may remember, I had the Serpent tank quite some time ago, and everyone in the world is saying how wonderful the Serpent is. Everyone in the world. And I have had just a bastard of a time getting it to wick properly. And it really has been an absolute pain in the ass, in as much as it's absolutely fine. You vape and vape and vape and it's fine and dandy. And then just dry hit from hell out of nowhere. And then literally 5 seconds later, you're fine and dandy again. And that's not vaping at high wattage. It's not. I have tried so many builds. I've followed so many tutorials. I've done everything I can think of. And it's just been a sod. And that battery is about to run out. So let me pop another one in here. So yeah, that's been really annoying me. However, there is good news. Because what these are wrapped, by the way. They're not naked. There is good news, because X1 Vape Reviews on YouTube, they've got a how to wick the Serpent RTA by Tofo tutorial, which I followed to the letter the other day, and I even put exactly the same coil in and the same wicking material. Everything was the same bar the juice, and it's even at 28.4 watts. It's actually been doing okay. And I say only okay because the first 24 hours, I think I had a brilliant time. And then, just before you get a dry hit, you kind of, should I say acidic? But you kind of get that vibe that you're about to get a dry hit. It kind of nobbles on there, and then you might just get one in your face, kind of, and then it's absolutely fine and dandy. And it's like you get a hot spot on a coil, but it's not a hot spot, because I've checked those. And literally I have done so many different coils. So the reason I've not reviewed it is not because I don't like it. It's because it's fucking frustrating. When it works, it's really, really good and I love it. And this must be user error, because everyone else just has a brilliant time with it. So It's not quite beaten me yet. We're getting close, but when it works, it's, you know, the airflow's great, the flavour's great, and I still think it looks awesome. It's on the Vapor Flask Lite, or Vape Forward Lite, by the way. These reviews should be coming through, starting to come through this coming week as well, which is pretty good. I am going to separate them, I think. I'm pretty sure I'm going to separate them. I'm not sure. Pretty sure? Not sure. Hashtag sure, not sure. But yeah, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. So I don't know. I am still going to keep banging on with it. Like I say, the amount of different builds, the amount of different wicking materials, the amount of different styles of wicks, the amount of having tiny amounts of cotton all the way through to having huge and great amounts of cotton. It's all been in there, and it's just been. But today we're working fine. So, yes, I do like it, and it's certainly a worthwhile purchase, because I think literally I am the only person ever who can't wick it. Which is a funny old thing. But also, if you like, especially if you like some of the nicer bits and bobs, go and check out X1 Vape reviews. They are pretty good, coming out with some nice stuff. What else has been going on? So, told you about the avocado and the E-Fusion Mini, which is brilliant. Hold you on a second. Just need to get a vape rack. Make it look a little bit clean. Get a little bit of the lip gunk off, because I've got something to show you. Don't know why I just did it like that. Not a clue. Right, ladies and gentlemen. Fresh from Herman Vapes. It turned up to me on Friday or Saturday. Saturday, I think it was. So I haven't had time to really have a good old play with it yet. But we have got... Why is that not going up close? There we go. We have got the new Tugboat. Oh, if you're a Tugboat fan, this is the new one. And with a little bit of lip gunk. And what we've got going on, and random bits of fluff. What we've got going on with this bad boy is we have got air coming from the top down, which is nice. But we also, and they go into those holes there, but we also have side airflow as well. So we've got a whole, just a myriad of different vaping options. And the great thing about this that I've found absolutely superb is, one of the things that annoyed me about the previous Tug was you'd have to buy a comp cap or something to get sort of the bigger airflow. And even then it was still quite restricted. However, this, because you've got that top down as well as the side airflow... Try it. It's a bloody day for him. Now, which juice would I have in there? Not those ones. Not those ones. It must be this one. Here we go. A bit of Nola from Lane Cove Vapor. This one's lovely. This is Pavlova meringue topped with whipped cream, strawberries, kiwi, and passion fruit. Yeah. As you know, don't do juice reviews. Tastes nice though. I like it. It's very strawberry kind of. It's just like another. I get more of the strawberry and the sort of the cream kind of vibe coming from it. But I'm sure someone with actual taste buds that work would get more. But yeah, so the Tugboat V3 on top of the Classic at the moment is working really, really well. It's lovely to have that kind of ability to be able to have a good old dick about with them. And it's two-post. So you've got all of that kind of fun to be playing with. So yeah, it's not 4-hole two-post, it's 2-hole two-post. But I've been quite impressed with this. And like I say, this came from Herman Vapes. I'll pop a link to their Facebook site. They've not got a website yet, but I believe they're still working on it. And yeah. So go along to those and see what you say, because I think this is my favourite Tugboat yet. And it didn't slice off when I was putting slightly delicate wire in, which is A-okay to me. Now the other thing that I've got, and this has just been sitting here. So this is going to be, when I say a first look, this is a proper first look. A friend of mine bought the Geek Vape Griffin. And before he took it home, we were in a vape shop together. Before he took it home, he gave it to me so I could do a little review on it, which I thought was jolly nice of him. But yeah, so I've literally just stuck a couple of coils in. I think I've got about 10 wraps over 3mm of 316 26 gauge, 316L, and so then I can use it in temp gauge, in temp mode, or in wattage mode. I've kind of done a bit of a funky wicking thing in there, so we'll see if that works. I haven't watched any tutorials. I just kind of went with it and sort of figured out how I wanted to do it as I went along. But that's been soaking for a while. This is on 35 watts. It's a 0.36 ohm coil. Well, the airflow's not bad. There's striking similarities between this and the Cryos. There are hugely striking similarities between the two. A couple of sort of random things. You can tighten I found that I was able to tighten up the juice control, because the juice control, like the Cryos, is a kind of a spin the whole barrel job, and that seems to have done the trick, so it's not too loose and wobbly. The top fill system, let me show. I know I'm doing a load of this up closey business today, but you know. Okay, so the top is where you do the top fill. Now, one of the things that I'm a little concerned about is there's no knurling, there's nothing to sort of really hold on to as such. So it's quite difficult if you have it snug. But when you take the top off to be able to fill it, as like so, there's big holes in there. But I've got quite a lot of juice, so I can't tip it. There's big holes in there to fill it, so that's nice and easy. But there's nothing to hold here. So it's very, very difficult to make sure that you don't unscrew the entire top cap. That's the one thing that I'm a little concerned about. But we'll see how that goes on with use over the next couple of weeks. As with anything, I don't even know why I'm looking at the camera when you can't see me. As with anything, I am going to have a good old look at it and a good see what's going on with it, because I think it could be a pretty decent tank. Is it going to be better than the Cryos though? We'll see. I think there is a little bit more space on the build deck on this, and so if you do want to put your Claptons, if you do want to put your kind of wider coils on, or bigger coils, let's say 3mm in here, no problems whatsoever. And I don't know what I should really look to see. So we've even got the box here. It doesn't tell me how much. I mean, obviously I'll have a little look online at some point in time, but I don't know how much juice it's holding, but I imagine it's not going to last that long. Because of that wider build deck, it means that the barrel that goes over it is wider, so to retain the kind of the 22mm, it looks just a hint bigger than 22mm at the AFC, but the 22mm sort of size, it means that a high VG juice kind of has a little bit of a to get down to the bottom. So yeah, we'll see how we go on. But let's now that's in there. Let's whack this up a little bit, shall we? 60 watts, I reckon. On the stout from Vape Forward. That was a little bit spitty. Let me turn this juice control down just a hint. They don't all appear to be exactly the same. They don't. Let me show you this. Let me show you something. Okay, so the juice controls are those holes at the bottom. Okay, so that one is kind of just got a hint. The holes here, I mean, the hint of the flat bit of the barrel. That one's kind of half closed. And that one is a little bit more closed, and that one is just that one's about half closed as well. So yeah, they're not equal. That worries me. Well, it doesn't worry me, it just kind of, That OCD thing that I keep talking about, that kind of, ooh, I want them all open the same. Good flavour though. Good flavour. I've got Darkstar in there. For when I test tanks and RDAs and all that sort of stuff, I always go straight in with a flavour that I'm fully aware of. Then over the course of the couple of weeks testing it, then I'll mix a whole bunch of different flavours in there as well. And then at the towards the end, I go back to vaping that sort of knowledgeable flavour that I've got again, just to really get a good handle on what it's like. And I've got to say, that's not bad at all. The draw is pretty decent. It's pretty decent. And it's clearly chucking. That's all gravy. Cold tea. Cheers. Now then, what else is going on? What else has been happening? Have I got anything else? I've just done the review for the Magma. The Magma Reborn. That's up and live now. So that's that's interesting. It's a jet engine taken off somewhere. Now, I've still not done the Dicodes FL8 chip yet. Board, rather, sorry. Sorry, Rick. I've not done that yet because I'm still trying to find the time so I can really sit down, and it's going to take quite a lot of effort to get used to understanding how this board works and really the best way to navigate it so I can explain it to you. Much like I said on my last, I think it was the last vlog I mentioned it. It's a very complex menu system, which is very odd, and yeah, so that's still going to take some time. And the reason I've not reviewed the Aeolus Lite yet is because I've got some of the NI-FE30, I think it is, wire in there at the moment, which is meaning that I can really test out the temp control aspect of it, but at the same time, I haven't got much of it, so I don't really want to take that coil out if I don't need to, just to do the review. But all things considered, I do really like the Lite. It's going really, really well, and I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, and I think it looks pretty cool as well. But that's how I'm feeling about that bad boy. I hope that if you have been waiting for that, I do apologise that that's been taking some time. But you know, it was colour coded, so I had to do it on the mod, and then. Kind of colour coded, but you know what I mean. So that's it for the mods and shit. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to vape with the Tugboat B3. Have I had any different juices this week? I don't think so. Did I have the wick liquor on the last vlog? Can't remember. Got some more of that. That's fabulous. Deja Voodoo is my favourite. It's sweet. It's still not a flavour that I would have seen online and gone, that's one for me, because it's got the sort of coconut vibe and all this sort of stuff going on with it. But it works really, really well, and it's brilliant for high temp stuff as well, so I'm loving that. The Lane Cove stuff is going really, really well, and what I'm doing with that is I'm trying to minimise kind of what I'm vaping it, so I'm kind of mixing up a whole bunch of juices in different RDAs so I can, because I am really, really enjoying it. This Nola, which is the Pavlova meringue strawberry affair that I told you about earlier on, those lights are really bright tonight, aren't they? Let's turn my exposure down a hint, shall we? See if that helps. Whoop. There we go. Lane Cove Nola. That is, I'm loving that. The big favourite though, the big favourite is not that one. Not that one. What one is it? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? What have I done with it? No, it's not that one either. Ah, it's that one. Lucy. Lane Cove Lucy, which is sweet minty candy. Now that I could vape that all day, every day. Now you can see that I'm sort of about a third of the way down, or 2/3 of the way down there, more or less. And yeah, so I'm trying to be really kind of careful with it. Am I too dark now? No, we'll carry on, shall we? I have got a couple. I've sold a couple of my Squonkers. So they're getting boxed up tonight, raring to go out shipped tomorrow, which is exciting. I still love Squanching. It's just the Svapiamo ones. I don't think I ever did a review for these. Did I do a review for these? I don't think I did, because I got this one quite some time ago, and it was I really like it. I mean, it's you know, it's reasonably simple. The tiniest little RDA in the world, with just a whore of a job to build coils on, but you can do, and it's not a bad little flavour setup. But, and the same with this one, in as much as it looks lovely, it's nice and simple inside, even simpler than the other one in fact, and they work, they do a grand job. But you know me, I do like my clouds, and for me, I like something that I can have more variety on when I'm building. Like with these, because of the type of unit, it is kind of, you don't really want to be building below kind of your, well, I guess your 0.5, 0.4, something like that. Whereas, you know, I do like building on unregulated mods around the 0.2 level. With the right batteries, of course. Samsung 25 hours all the way forward. Thank you very much. Now then, have we got anything else? Have we got anything else to tell you? I don't think we have. We had a look through, what have I done this week? What have I done this week? Have I got anything to expand on for you? This one is especially haphazard. I'm terribly sorry. I'm terribly sorry. I've been quite a busy chappy this week, I think. So the Whiteout by Cloudmaker Tech, I am selling that, and I'm selling it because I need to. I mean, it was something that I purchased, so why the fuck not? And I don't have to tell anyone why. But I'm doing it so I can, you know, carry on funding other bits and pieces. And I'd had to do an introduction to my channel this week. That's just a little minute and 3/4 little excerpt to say to new people what the channel's all about. Hopefully I grabbed that, I'm not entirely sure. The Nobunaga Mini, that came out this week in my review and was very good indeed. I enjoyed that a lot. And the full-size Nobunaga as well, that was fabulous, and I'm still a big fan. In fact, I had it here and I just took it off my stout, actually. There we go, that bad boy. I've been chuffing away on that like a good one and enjoying that very, very much. So that's about as far as we go when it comes to all that sort of good shit. Now then. Have I had any interesting comments? Well, I always get some interesting comments. I did have to, I'd never delete kind of just knobheads and trolls and stuff. I very rarely delete trolls, but I have done a couple. So if you saw some absolute knobheads on any videos, I do apologise. Some people just sit at, you know, in front of a keyboard and go, no, I'm going to tell him he's a wanker, but in much stronger levels. And once again, by the way, and this has happened on a couple of occasions, I have forgotten that I'm just not I don't really accept people on Facebook and all that sort of stuff. And I've had a couple of people now that I've had to get rid of off Facebook because they, you know, I accepted them either because I wasn't really thinking, or because I thought they were someone else, or whatever. And then, you know, they see your personal photos and then they're just knobs about it. And so, once again, if you do send me a personal friend request, I apologise if I don't accept it. But it's one of those things where, you know, it's a personal page, so you don't need to see pictures of me making an ass of myself doing stuff, or pictures of me going out for dinner with the wife. That's not relevant to vaping at all. What have we got? What have we got apart from a lot of ums? Let's have a little look at a couple of comments. Simon Murphy, loving the Cleto tank as well. That's good. I'm still using the Cleto. I think it's brilliant when I'm driving. Obviously, for the coming week or so, I am going to be using the Griffin when I'm doing that, so we'll see how that goes. James Taylor, love your vlog, Dean. Informative, and yeah, you have me chuckling all the way through. Keep it up, dude. That's very kind. Thank you very much indeed. There has been a couple of questions. Maggie's asked if I can do a tutorial on mixing juice, or when I do my kind of home mixes. I did reply on that one, and to be honest, there's no point in me doing it. There are far better people than me that will be on YouTube and everything else that show you how that happens, because I only do it now and then just for a little bit of a dick about it, or because I haven't got any of the sort of cloudy juice that I'm going to tear through, and you know, or I want to try a different type of flavour or something like that. So that's the only time that I really make it for myself, and I'm not a professional. I'm just, you know, well, that's about 50 mil. That's fine. Fuck it. And so a lot of the time the juice doesn't get vaped, but sometimes it's all right. Occasionally, once in a blue moon. Inky-taters 1. Please sell vaping biker woolly hats. I'll wear one at work. Vape shop. So I'll get you plenty of publicity there. Pretty please. And I think Inky-taters has asked me to review woolly hats before, which the trick is get one, don't wash it for ages, and then if you've got a massive head and you're in your 40s, you look like an absolute cock like me. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not qualified to review headgear. Great vids. Can you explain temp control benefits and different coils, metals it uses? Cheers. That comes from Mark Williams on my intro channel. It's been, I did ask for some questions on the introduction that I did, and it's been great. I've been having a few questions come through, and I will do my best to try and get through to them when I can. But please be aware that when there's a question such as that, and I'm not just singling out that one, but using that as an example, when it comes to the benefits of temp control, the basics are you tend not to have dry hits. You know, it will stop producing energy to your coil once you run out of juice. That in theory is basically what it does. So no dry hits, no burnt cotton, none of that sort of business when it works well. Unfortunately, there's a lot of products on the market that don't work as well as they should. So in a lot of ways, it kind of just gives you an indication, so you can tell that you're running out of juice, so you can get to it before it all goes horribly wrong. And regarding the different metals for it, there's a bunch. You know, they're from Ni200 through to titanium through to stainless steel. Stainless steel is still my favourite. I am using a lot of stainless steel at the moment, 316L, 26 gauge, and I'm using it in a whole bunch of things. Whether it's something where I'm twisting it, whether it's using in wattage, whether it's using in temp mode, and I love it. I really, really do love it. I still maintain that stainless steel 316L, 26 gauge over a 3mm bit, and in the rouleau was the first time I experienced it, but still the best temp control experience I've had. And the fact that you can use it in wattage mode as well is brilliant, because it means you're less likely to accidentally, you know, fire the button in wattage mode when you've got Ni200 in there or something like that, which is not a cool thing. You don't want to do that. So yeah, I mean, it's a tough one, and there's a lot of information there required, much as the same way as I have had an email recently. Can I find it quickly? Can I find it quickly? Can I find it quickly? I don't think I can. Motherfucker. Who was it? Who was it? Here we go. Here we go. And this is an email from Stefan Hook. I don't know where you're from, Stefan, and I apologise if I've said your name horrifically badly. But basically, bloody flavour. Send you a message on Facebook, and just remember that you said to mail, since you might not read it there. So here it is. Sorry to bother you on a Saturday like this. Well, that's very kind of you. Thank you very much indeed. And I probably wasn't bothered. I was probably had my phone off and just chilling with the wife. And I'd like to thank you for an awesome show, awesome vlog and show, and all the things that you do for the vaping community. That's nice. Thank you very much. My question is, how do you build to get the maximum flavour out of your e-juice? I've tried several builds, such as Clapton's, regular, macro, mini, coils, sub-tanks, what have you, but I don't seem to get that little extra flavour I wished I could get. I don't believe it's the e-juice, since it has a lot of flavouring aroma in it. Could it simply be ohm and build related? Have a great evening, and freely answer to this if you wish. A fairly new vapor from Sweden. Oh, there we go, Sweden, Stefan. Thank you very much for the question, and that is a big one. And I think I can't remember. Did I answer on something? I may have commented on that, or someone else asking a very similar question. It's a huge answer. For me personally, I tend to get the best flavour from reduced airflow. And anything from kind of 40 watts to 60-65 watts is usually my sort of zone. That kind of is where I tend to get the best from it. Now, regarding the types of coils, I do really like my dual core Claptons, dual core NI80 26 gauge with 36 gauge Canthal Clapton round it. And then I flatten them. I don't know if the flattening does anything, but it makes me feel better. And so that makes me happy. That just it appeals to me. Now, when it comes to, you asked about the ohmage, I don't believe it does. I don't believe with today's regulated products, with today's, things like the Vapor Flask or the E-Square, I want to call it E-Scribe, there's too many E-Scr things. With things like this, you've got, your ohmage is not as relevant, so it's best to build a little bit higher than you normally would do, and then you'll help maintain battery life a little bit more as well. So personally, I find that it's going to be down to your airflow, it's going to be down to your coil, it's going to be down to your whether it's a tank dripper, what type of tank dripper it is. If it's a tank, how big your chimney is, there's so many things. There is so many things, and the trick is really just try as much as you can. Really trying to get to vape shops, try and join on other people's stuff and get involved and try different bits of kit out. If you can get to a convention, if there's one, I don't know if there's one in Sweden, but if you can get to any conventions anywhere, then they're always great places. But for me, I have horrific taste buds. This is why I don't do juice reviews. So it has to be an e-liquid that really kind of strikes a note with me, such as the Wick Liquor, such as Stash, such as Lane Cove, Grumpy E-Juice, Grumpy Custard, that kind of stuff. And that rings for me because it kind of fits in with my personal flavour profiles. And they're strong enough flavours for me to be able to enjoy them at a varying amount of wattage. So, yeah, there is no quick answer. There's nothing, I can't say build at 0.3 and do this, that and the other and you'll be fine. It's going to be down to your journey. So try as much as you can. Now, I know you're discounting the E-Juice, but I would say don't. Just try a whole bunch. So, yeah, that's that. Seth emailed me. I'm not going to go into that one, but I hope you've had some success. And I am going to be trying to find out more information for you on that one, which I think I did reply to you. But going back onto the comments for a second. Back onto the comments. Lots of kind of negativity towards the Cloudmaker, unfortunately. It is what it is. I have had one chap who didn't like the fact that I sounded negative when I said in the Ideal Own show that people were whining because I'd reviewed a 3-post stripper, and so I do apologise if you found that offensive if you saw it, but at the end of the day I don't complain because Coronation Street's on the telly, but I just turn over and don't watch it. So it's one of those things where if you're not interested in a 3-post stripper, don't look at a 3-post stripper review. Am I taking things too simply then? But there you go. But unfortunately, this chap did accuse me. Let me have a little look. Stop glossing over faults to keep your suppliers happy. Be honest with your reviews. And that did piss me off a bit, I must admit, because one of the things that I insist on is I will be honest and I will tell you how I think about things and what I think about things. Sometimes I will mention just the facts of something, because just because I may not like it, then it doesn't mean to say that the other person wasn't. Taking the Serpent is a prime example. Based on my experience, I could review this tomorrow and say it's a heap of junk and don't buy one. However, that would be wrong because it's something that a whole lot of people are enjoying. They're not having the same issues as me. So just because it's my fault using it doesn't mean to say that I am going to judge it as being, you know, a bad bit of kit. So, you know, at the end of the day, I will give you the facts as I see them, and I will never sort of tell you an untruth. I will never lack honesty, and I just tell you how I feel about things. And I think most of you that watch me tend to know that anyway. So yeah, that kind of really annoyed the fuck out of me, to be honest with you, because that's one of the things that I have tried to maintain. I haven't tried to, I have maintained, because that's kind of who I am. I'm annoyingly honest on these things, which can piss people off as well. But never mind. So there we go. I can't please all the people all the time, which is a bit of a shame, but what can you say? What can you say? Roselle's asked me to do the Tsunami RDA. I'll have to have a little look into that and see how much they are, and see if my vape budget, my review budget will allow me to do that one. Just a whole bunch of quality and very kind and lovely comments. That's the word. But I just went blank then. Like, I've not even had a drink. But there we go. So, right, coming up, what's going to be coming up? Well, I am going to be looking at, as I said earlier on, trying to get some of the Vape Forward stuff out this week. I do think that's a little bit too dark, you know. I do think that's a little bit too dark. There we go. Try strike. Whoop, there we go. I will be trying to do a little bit of the Vape Forward stuff this week. I think I'm going to need to spend a little bit more time with the E-Square Mini, but we'll see how we get on. I think I've had it for a week so far, so maybe in another week I'll be able to give you a reasonable understanding. At the end of the day, it is just a DNA 200, so the board is the board. We've looked at the board before, and it's absolutely super. So I just want to see how the casing kind of puts up with kind of constant use, being thrown in and out of the car and pockets and all that sort of good stuff, as well as things like the 510 and, you know, all the normal kind of affairs. Now, I am very, very interested in the battery, and I actually was in a model shop with a friend yesterday and noticed how many different batteries of this kind are around, and I do need to find out more information with lipos. But yeah, so that one may come up this week, we'll see, purely because there isn't anything really new from the internal side of things, apart from being very, very, very clean. I mean, that is tidy as you like, isn't it? So yeah, nothing overly excessive there. So that I may squeeze that in. The Tugboat V3, that is going to. It's unlikely to come in this week, to be honest with you, but will probably be next week. But we'll see how times go. The Griffin tank certainly won't be this week, but that will come soon. Now I've got things coming. What have I got coming? What have I got coming? Can't remember. Oh, from France, I've got the Goblin V2 Mini coming in. That's exciting. That's top fill and has got a couple of improvements. Still got the wanky airflow underneath, in as much as nothing protecting your 510 or anything as far as I can see. But I'm looking forward to having a blat with one of those. Hopefully that'll be here this week so we can have a good old play with that. What else? Oh, with gaffer tape. Cotton. I don't know if I said about this last week. I've had a look at the Kendo Cotton before, which I haven't got to hand. Here we go. Here we go. This stuff. I've had a look at this stuff before and said that once it does actually saturate, which it didn't do in my absorbency test in my wick off, but once it does saturate, it works very, very well. And so that was they sent me some more of that, which was very nice of them, and they also sent me this gold edition, which I think they've sent to a whole bunch of the reviewers as well. And this is a little bit nicer because whereas that one's a bit of a hodgepodge, sort of just a whole bunch of cotton thrown in there and all the fibres are going all over the place, this is kind of pulled a little bit more kind of in line with itself, so it's a little bit easier to build with that one. So I've built a couple of items with that so far, and it's worked out pretty well. Is it better than anything else? I'll get back to you on that one. But I don't think I've got. I need to still do a sub-ohm tank from Innikin. Coiling. I keep talking about doing a coiling video, and I really do want to do one. I really do want to find the time to do one. Now, when I keep saying about time as well, this is something that I thought I could explain to you guys, just because we know that some weeks, like on a Sunday, I'll say, right, I'm going to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the reviews, and it's all going to be gravy. It never ever works out, never. And that's because there's just a whole bunch of life going on the way. Like this week, I think I did one on Monday. Tuesday was prep for the Ideal Ohm show. Wednesday, I went to see Deadpool with the wife. Deadpool, go and see it if you like superhero stupidness. That's very, very funny. I was a bit concerned because I thought all the funny stuff might be in the trailers. Wasn't. Definitely worthwhile. Great film. Go and see it. Excuse me. Awesome. Loved it so much. So there was that, and then Thursday night obviously we've got the Ideal Ohm show, and that, if you don't know about it, that's on at 9 o'clock on theohmpage.com/live, or we've got a YouTube channel. You can watch on either of those two places, and obviously the YouTube means that you can watch it whenever you fancy, but the Ohm page is live, hence the /live, and you can join in the chat there and have a chat to us while we're doing stuff as well. And we've got a very exciting one this week. Oh, have we got an exciting one this week? We've got Mark Tyler. Unfortunately, one of the guys, Craig, is not going to be with us this week. He's got something else that he needs to do. And so we've got Mark Todd coming in as being a co-host, which is going to be awesome. Such a lovely bloke. And we have a very, very special guest as well. But I'm not going to tell you who that is. But it's very special. But I should be releasing something with that. Maybe early part of next week. So we'll see how we get on there. But that's going to be a good one. And then Friday, I think I banged out a couple of reviews. Friday, Saturday, can't remember. Did I do them on Friday? Don't know, but sometimes you need a fish and chip Friday, you know. And then I don't think I did on Friday, but I think I banged out a few on Saturday. I think I've also put a little bit too much beard oil in. I'm a little bit itchy. Look at the grey. Look at the grey though. How old am I? That sucks. So I do apologise that it's not as regular as I'd like it to be, but hopefully that will get better very soon. Just noticed we're 41 minutes in, so I had better sign off, and I will keep you guys up to speed with things as much as I possibly can. Keep the comments coming, keep the info coming as and when you get it. If there's any questions you've got, come in and give me a shout. And it's always nice to know if you hear of anything exciting and new that's coming out that I haven't seen. So thanks very much for watching, everybody. What am I going to sign out with today? Let's have a go with the Griffin tank, seeing as we're trying that bad boy out tonight. I intend to... What time is it now? What time is it? 8:15. Quick edit. No, there's no edit. Top and tail this with my stuff. Render it. Get it up. And then, I should be able to have a couple of hours in front of the box tonight with the wife, which will be nice. Right. Make sure you go out there and have it large all week. Enjoy it. I know we all have to go to work. It sucks balls. But, at the end of the day, it has to happen. So, make hay while the sun shines. You got to cope with the rain to appreciate the sun and all that shit. Just make sure you go out and have it large.
I'm fading. It's come to an end. I feel an obligation to